What's up YouTube, this is Detroit Borg, and here we have the first generation iPad keyboard dock. Unfortunately, this is a product that apparently Apple has decided not to update for iPad 2. So the question is, does this work with iPad 2? Well, it certainly does, and I'm going to demonstrate that. But just to go over briefly what this keyboard is about, again, it's basically an iPad dock with a keyboard grafted onto it. It's not battery powered. The iPad powers the keyboard. So just like any Apple dock, on the back we have a dock connector and a line out for audio. Now, the keyboard itself is familiar territory to any Mac owner, so you'll recognize everything south of the top line. The top line are actually functions specific to an iPad. So these are the function keys on a standard Mac keyboard, but here they have a specific function for the iPad. So up here we have a key we all recognize, the home key, so this is essentially representing the home button on the iPad. Then we have the spotlight search, brightness controls for the screen, the photo frame key, the keyboard key, so this brings up the virtual keyboard. This is an empty key, does nothing. Then we have the media controls and the lock switch. So this is basically the sleep-wake button. Now let's go ahead and get the iPad onto the dock and test it out. Now sliding the iPad on is a little tricky just because the iPad is tapered, at least the second generation iPad is tapered. It has a nice tapered edge. The old iPad had a square edge, and that was a lot easier to slide on. This one you have to be a little more careful because you have to find the right angle of approach. Now looking from the side, you can see that the iPad 2 doesn't quite fit snugly with this dock, but it fits just fine. There is some wiggle room here. Again, the iPad 2 is thinner than the old iPad, but it's not too bad, and the backrest does a good job holding up the iPad, so I wouldn't be too worried about damaging your iPad or the dock when using it here. Now with the iPad connected, we can start playing with it. So first let's type search. So this is the search, spotlight search, so I can type in the search term with the keyboard. I'm not going to do that because it's going to bring up one of my address book contacts. So let's just press the home key. The home key brings us to the home screen, and we also have brightness controls, so we can control the brightness this way. We also have the picture frame key. So this brings me to my photo gallery, and it looks like this is just set to random. We also have the virtual keyboard key, but we're going to need an app that uses the keyboard. Now I'm in the Notes app, and you notice that I don't have a virtual keyboard, and that's because I'm attached to a keyboard. So if I want to invoke it, just tap the keyboard key. Now up here we have the media controls, so we have reverse, play, pause, forward, volume or mute, volume down, volume up. So let me just load the iPod app, and we'll start playing with it. Of course I have Coldplay loaded. Now we're just going to click play. We're playing Coldplay. I'm going to go to the next song. Go to the previous song, or fast forward, volume down, or mute, volume down, volume up. Now just to demonstrate the keyboard, I'm going to load the Note app, and you notice that if I double tap the home key, just like on the home key on the iPad, it will bring up the app launcher. So let's go back to Notes, and we're going to tap on the screen, and we're going to start typing. So in addition to typing, you certainly have other functions. So Command-Alt to select all, Command-C to copy, or Command-X to cut, Command-V to paste. You can also do caps lock keys, so if you want to type in all caps. You got all caps. You can tab. So basically, most of the functions that you expect to work on the Mac will work here. Even the direction keys, you have to keep in mind that you still have to interact with the screen most of the time. So for example, if you want to select an app or select text, you'll still have to touch it. And if you want to put your iPad to sleep, just tap the sleep key. Although I like the iPad keyboard in concept, I haven't really used it. In fact, I generally recommend the Bluetooth keyboard because I think the best orientation for using your iPad is actually in landscape mode, and you can't use this keyboard in landscape mode. You can only use it in portrait. So that means it's very inflexible, and of course it's not very portable, so this really is only good for a desktop. But since your iPad is such a portable device, I think you're better off getting something a lot more flexible like a Bluetooth keyboard. So once again guys, this is Detroit Borg taking a look at the iPad 1 keyboard dock on the iPad 2. Thanks for watching.